Alright, it's Devlog Thursday. Last time I had just finished getting the very basics of an inventory done, on top of, the platforming and stuff. And I said that next time I would probably have ready some prototype crops, or at least one prototype crop, and I do have that done. I'll show you this. This red block is now a prototype seed. It doesn't look like it, but it is. And then we have this blue square, which is a watering tool. And it's in my inventory. It just shows as a bucket, and it's used like this. It looks weird, but it'll look better when the game looks better, which is a ways off. This is the really early prototype stage. And also, these crop plots are now interactive. You can go up to one and click on it, and it has your inventory pop up, and also this little menu over here. You can put a seed right here, and put nutrient formula right here. You can click plant to plant the seed, apply to apply the formula, and I can drag the seed over here, click plant, and it says proto-fruit stalk, growing 0%. It's not growing because there's no water. So if I water the soil, then it starts growing. And I'll show you a little something after I get this debug tool right here, which shows the properties and stuff of whatever interactable object I'm looking at. So if I look at this, I can see exactly what's going on. You can see that the soil saturation is going down while it's growing. And what's happening is that water from the soil is actually going directly into the water store and being used up at the exact same rate. So I'm going to need to water it because, yeah, it's dying now. Nope, that's okay. That's what I wanted to do. So now it's growing again. And again, the soil saturation is going down as it's going into the water store, and it's coming out of the water store and being used at that exact same rate. And that may not necessarily be accurate for most plants. If you had something like, say, a cactus, its water store would fill up at a decent rate, and the soil saturation would be gone pretty quick because, it's a desert. But the rate at which it used water from the water store would be much slower, so that it could store up water over time and have it, in reserve for when it's really dry. Other plants would probably use water faster than others, but in this game, there's going to be a huge variety of different crops with all sorts of different properties and quirks. And anyway, that's all I've got. It doesn't seem like much, but there was a lot of work that went into implementing this, like implementing the crop, and also because I was pretty picky. Also, this plant is dead now. It's at 30 of 30 death. How sad. Anyway, a lot of work went into it, and one thing I did because I was picky is I made my own data type. It's like a normal decimal number, except it has more precision. Like, what it is under the hood is basically a floating point integer, no, not a floating point number, and a 32-bit integer, making 64 bits, plus some other tiny information that it kind of needs. And I had to implement my own arithmetic for it, which I did wrong the first time. After I implemented the debug tool, I found that out, because whenever my crop would grow, it would also die, because for some reason, I implemented subtraction wrong. I think is literally the problem was, on top of kind of getting confused as to when I needed the mantissa, which is the part after the decimal point, to be signed or not. I got confused about when I needed that particular value. And also, I forgot to change a greater than sign to a less than sign. And yeah, those two things are pretty much the only problems there were, and that was why the subtraction wasn't working, so I went ahead and fixed that. And it stopped dying when it grows. And, of course, yeah, there was all the time that I spent, implementing this crop so that it would be a thing that could be an item, and, well, the seeds would be an item that could be transferred into the crop plot and be something that can be processed into a crop and all that. Yeah. That took several days, because I can't work on it constantly every day. But yeah, I actually got done, I think, a little bit more than I expected to get done. I mean, I would have hoped to have, like, a good amount of prototype crops to show, each with different properties, but I didn't end up making that. And I only, just now, just before I started this video, only just then got the debug tool done. And I kind of needed that for some demonstration. Otherwise, there would have been practically nothing to show. All you would have been able to see was, how much... Oh, it's not here. You would have only been able to see how much this crop was growing and if it was dead or not. And it's not very useful for me trying to explain what's going on. So I put in the debug tool, and that's going to come in handy a lot throughout development. So I'm glad I have it. There's also a little harvesting tool over here. It's this yellow thing. It does absolutely nothing because, you don't exactly see a crop here. It's only virtual, and it's also dead. Oh well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I may be uploading some new songs soon. Well, they're not new. They're actually old songs that I haven't gotten around to uploading. But yeah, hopefully I will get those uploaded soon. I don't know if I want to do a game dev session or if I even have time for that. Maybe. I'll just have to see how it works out. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, and bye.